To learn more about the man, Alexander looked to the narrative reports of the officers on the scene. Officers Kevin Teagues and Sandra Purcell had arrived within a minute of one another. Teagues went immediately to the Lexus, where he found a man and a woman both in their mid-30s, both in the area of the driver's seat. The man faced forward, as if he were driving the car, and the woman sat partially on the man's lap, with her upper torso slumped across the console. The man had his pants and underwear pulled down around his thighs, and the woman wore a red dress that had been pulled up around her hips. The man was conscious, mumbling gibberish. The woman was unconscious. Officer Sandra Purcell's report dealt with the man in the Porsche, whom she later identified by driver's license as James Putnam, born February 22, 1980. The impact of the crash pushed the engine of the Porsche through the firewall and into his lap. The column for the steering wheel had entered his chest just below the clavicle, disconnecting his right shoulder from its socket. A smear of the man's blood and hair coated the shattered windshield, which had folded into his head. Even with those massive injuries, the man in the Porsche floated in and out of consciousness. Purcell determined the extraction of the man would be impossible without the jaws of life, and even then she didn't see how he could survive his injuries. She wrote in her report that she believed that he was about to die, but she followed her training and tipped his head back far enough to keep his airway open. In a gurgling whisper, the man asked Purcell if he was going to die. Purcell didn't answer, but continued to give what aid she could. The man struggled to speak, but his words sank into a bog of incoherency as he fought to stay alive. She wrote down what words she could make out. Amidst the garble of phrases, Purcell wrote that Putnam whispered, "Find it before they find her." He said those words shortly before his body went into shock. Within a matter of minutes, the man fell into unconsciousness and died.